Hello guys, this is the Sunny Panda and welcome back to my playthrough of This is the Police. So let's continue our journey as the police chief of Freeburg. On day 5, retired police officer Thomas Blaine shoots pregnant woman. That is bad. Freeburg Tribune reputes Officer Blaine explains, I thought she was a suicide bomber. Oh no. And the fact, Freeburg's #1 paper says Mayor Rogers, city has no problems with racists. That's a lie. They ordered us to fire all our cops who were black, and we didn't agree to that. Oh, it's a
Why
cutscene.
would a man need a barn? To store all the stuff you can't bring home. About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn.
A couch? A sofa? Oh no. Drugs. Pills. Yes, pills.
I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn door. Well, fine. It's not every day that someone comes to visit your barn. In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn. I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn, especially guests with their own personal bodyguards.
Everyday thing to
But
get
Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car. Figured we'd find you in here. I'm going in for a minute, fellas. These guys will wait outside.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Christopher Sand?
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the mafia?
Not a good idea.
I'm leaving tonight.
Oh.
More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. Don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
I noticed.
You told your mafia friends about your plans.
Jackie, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me. My family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Christopher Sand does kill family
Your
members.
contract,
I know.
Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
They would.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder.
So we get to choose. Do we help Kendrick? Probably get in bed with the mafia, or do we refuse to help Kendrick and probably end up being responsible for the death of him and his family? Because Christopher Sand will do it. We read about it in his introduction. We were told that he killed 30 plus people, including family. I'm going to agree to help him.
Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank.
GTFO, Frank, just GTFO.
At the
Have I done
time,
wrong?
I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in.
I'm wondering if I did
I'm
right.
probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, and I've agreed to help the mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
Nope. He's got someone else's problems to bear now. Well, Jack, we just have to tough it out. My kid's been causing trouble again, and they've called me to his school. Can you give me some time to deal with this? Vandal playing the kid card. How can I say no? Go for it. I was up all night reading an exciting detective story called The Last Temptation of Neptune, but I didn't have time to get to the ending. I'm almost certain that the killer is Mrs. Clemens, but I can't rest until I know for sure. Can I go home and finish reading the book? No. You can't go and finish reading the book. You're just... Let's give the start to Porter. And let's start the day. Do we need some tunes? Okay, let's get some tunes. Let's get some tunes. Alright. No matter your personal relationship with the city's administration, your police station is at their mercy. In order to maintain reasonable working conditions, you have to send appropriate requests to the mayor. Alright. Proceed. They did want us to fire all the black cops. We're not doing that. Our decisions from the city hall depend on whether they're satisfied with your work. You can send requests every 5 days. The fools in charge of the city may refuse outright or accept only some of your requests, so only ask for what you really need. We'll get a swap upgrade request sent because honestly we don't need an officer, we don't need a detective, we don't need a raise as of now. We've just requested for a SWAT upgrade so that our SWAT can be more effective. We got a salary of 1,200 big bucks. Okay, and tomorrow is the deadline. I'm not doing that. Disorderly conduct at Eddie's Burger. Every morning there's a dirty, piss-soaked bum sleeping at the cafe. The man refuses to go away and growls at anyone who approaches, scaring all customers. I think the growling part is what... just sleeping outside piss-soaked is not good, but you can sympathize a bit. Robbery, touch of Dionysus liquor store. I don't know, whatever that name is. A witness looked from her window while an armed man with a stocking on his head entered the nearby liquor store. Let's send Gibbons as lead because she has 3 stripes. Let's send Stovall as secondary officer, Grant as the 3rd officer, and I don't know if we should send out the SWAT. It's just one witness. Just one witness and 3 officers in before all 3 officers get killed. That would be terrible.
311A in progress.
Okay. We had the disorderly conduct. Offender was caught. Officers unharmed. Robbins and Samari did well. We have a fight in a residential area. A hot dog vendor reports that he saw 2 Elvis impersonators grappling right there on the sidewalk. They're swearing in Spanish and beating each other with microphone stands. Alright, Buck and Buck Jr., dad and son. Make us proud. Though I don't really have a lot of expectation from both of you.
Looks like we have a situation
The shop has 2 exits from which a few people have already fled. Sneak up to the back. Sneak up to the back door. Drive a patrol car right through the front window. Enter the store through the main entrance. Sneak up the back door. The stick-up man noticed the police presence and took the cashier hostage. He is holding his gun to the hostage's head, shouting, "Back off or I'll blow his goddamn face off." Meanwhile, the cashier is yelling in an unknown language. "You in the mask, shut your face and drop the weapon." "Quiet, Abdul, you're just making things more complicated." Silently take aim at the robber. We'll tell the cashier to quiet down. The robber grows visibly nervous. "Don't shoot, please. I just need the money. I'll just take a little bit and go. No one was hurt." The cashier begins to cry. "I'll let you leave here upright, but only if you release the hostage." "Shoot the robber. There's 2 ways out of this shop. There's 2 ways out of this shop. In cuffs or in a body bag." Should we be nice or should we be savage? Let's be savage.
910 being complete.
Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good job. Good job, team. We have a detective as well. Ernest Fitzgerald from the countryside says, "Jack, this year the organizers of the Golden Beast Hunt suddenly changed the rules of the annual shooting contest. It now features teams instead of single competitors. Can you send me 2 of your finest marksmen? I'd really love to do well in the competition." We have 42 seconds. Can Birch come back by then? We'll see. A robbery, city center. An antique Chinese necklace was stolen from Bao Liang while she was on the way to the pawn shop. Alright. Porter as lead, Moser as support. Go out there. It's a hot city hall. It's a hot one today and a lot of people are going for a swim. Last week 4 people drowned on the beaches of Freiburg and the press was in an uproar. Of course there'll be an uproar. Please send someone to keep an eye on things. We're not firing the cops as the city hall wants. Let's send one of our men for this job. We also need 2 for the request.
12 in progress.
We don't have officers to spare. I knew this is going to happen. You can't trust these 2. Dad and son combo. Destruction of property. I'm just waiting for my officers to be back. Okay. Destruction of property at Gallery of Modern Art. At a gallery exhibition entitled A Sex Operation, a gang of young people in ski masks forced their way in and began smashing the exhibit, shouting, "We don't need this shit in our city." That's something that's likely to happen where I live. Like it's relatable. So we'll send Givens, 3 stripes as the lead. We'll send Robbins, and we'll send a gang of young people. So we'll send 3 people. We'll send 3 officers out. Should be enough. Birch and Birch Jr. should be back in time for this favor. And we can get them. Maybe we can get rid of them for today. Off you go. The investigation for the robbery started. Mrs. Liang said, "Me and my husband got into a difficult financial situation, and I was going to pawn an antique necklace which has been in my family for many centuries. As I was carrying the necklace to the pawn shop, someone ripped the bag from my shoulder and disappeared. I didn't have time to do anything, not even cry out." Mr. Fishman said the offender was on a motorcycle. He drove down the road, grabbed the bag, and then escaped. I tried to race after him, but I didn't even have the time to see if it was a man or a woman. I couldn't see his face, but he was dressed in a jacket, like those other bikers who hang around the street on the corners, okay? It was definitely not a local biker. They are bald and have beards. But this guy looked Asian, probably Japanese or Chinese, okay? Mrs. Patterson says, "I didn't see a weapon in his hands. I just saw him grab her bag and ride off." Alright, so we have some witnesses and we'll let our detectives get to work to solve the crime.
12.
Destruction of property. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Good job. Good job, you 3. Get back to the HQ. We have sent the useless duo to... Okay, so Detective Porter in open investigation. He was wearing a jacket, yes. And this lady, Mrs. Liang, was just walking around, right? So what happens is I feel he drives up first, grabs it, and then runs away. Yes. So the sequence is complete. Quan Yinlin, a Chinese immigrant recently expelled from university, is the suspect. Good job, detectives. Let's go arrest this. Oh no, we need some officers back at base.
11 in progress.
We need some officers back at base, and we're getting some officers back. Chinatown robbery. We'll send Gibsons and Grant. Okay, proceed, and let's respond to this soon. Okay, vandalism at the Atticus Tower. A guard went for a smoke and saw a teenager writing obscenities on the wall of the building. I chased the brat up a tree. You can take it from here. All right, thank you for doing half of a job for us, security guard. Good guarding. We did it, Boyd. We won. That Ernest really knows a lot about shooting, even taught us a thing or two. He invited us out hunting to celebrate the victory, so we'll be taking a day off. We deserve it. At least you guys got some experience. Got some professionalism from that. So that's good. That's a win in my books. Let's see. We have 2 calls pending, but that's the end of the day. Like when the shutter goes down, I don't think we'll be getting any more new calls after. So let's see the robbery report. Offender caught, and yes, it's a win. So our detectives did well. Good job. Yeah, we did well with the 2 cases, and I know it's starting out easy. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Stovall and Robbins. Good job. Good job. So that brings our day 5 to an end. Looks like tomorrow is going to be a long day, more like the first of a lot of long days. There's just too much going on. Okay. So we get an intimation that tomorrow is going to be a super long day. End of the day. And day 6. Are we ready? Are we ready for the super long day? Why not? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Thomas Blaine, pregnant woman killer sent to mental hospital. Oh yeah, the thing that happened yesterday. According to Dr. Eleonora Waterbury, Thomas Blaine has a new form of should I pronounce it, guys? Schizophrenia. Holy shit, I butchered that. I'm sorry. The fact Freeburg's #1 paper, Mayor Rogers, not afraid of the competition. I bet he's not afraid. I never said that. It's not the words of the chief of police. Oh, we have a cutscene.
Mr. Boyd, there was a man here earlier. He left you this.
A man? What man? Who let him on this floor?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. I asked him his name, but he just ignored me. He was talking on a big telephone, you know, one of those portables. He gave me this envelope and left.
Damn. Okay, let's see about this.
So they
Of
got on the
course,
plane?
they could have
Yeah.
shot them the second they took the photo. But I knew Kendrick and his family were all right. Either way, the message was not that they got out. It meant that I was in. My servitude to the Mafia had begun. I'd only been in my new position 5 seconds, and I already knew why Kendrick called it a contract. You sound doomed if you call it what it is.
Curse.
A curse. Boyd.
Good morning, Jack. I believe you just received my message.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget some people don't recognize my voice. But I assure you, Jack, if I was sitting right there in front of you, you'd have no trouble recognizing me. Like I was a member of your family. Even better than a wife, perhaps. A wife can betray you. No man
Going
is immune.
personal already.
I don't talk to
Damn.
people who don't tell me their names.
Oh, Jack, don't be so childish. You're too old to run away from strangers. Yes, we both are. And in our old age, friendship becomes rare and all the more precious. But of course, we must work with new people and find out new names. So if you insist, Jack, let us formally meet. Hello, Jack Boyd. I'm Christopher Sand.
Wonderful, Mr. Sand. And what is it you do for a living?
Oh, you'll soon find out all about that. Well, you'll learn much more than a simple policeman could ever expect.
Oh, damn.
You're a simple
He's,
policeman no longer, Jack. Don't turn off your phone. You start today.
Our servitude, our curse starts today. I would bang the phone as well. I just...
8 in 10. It's been my go-to principle since my first day on the job. I've got to let my colleagues hush up what they need to, 2 out of 10 times, so that they'll help me with the remaining 8. 80 out of 100, 800 out of 1,000. I'm proud of those statistics. It's not so bad for Freeburg, right? But now I just officially became a mafia whore. I'm supposed to be fearing for my life, for the lives of my wife and children. But the only thing I can think, what's gonna happen to 8 and 10?
Alright, we did save Kendrick, so I'm not too sad about that, but I think if he would have been killed if we didn't save him. Officer B asks, today some of my relatives have come to visit. They're from another country and we have never met before. Can I have a day off? No. My grandfather has epilepsy, Yancy, and recently the seizures have gotten worse. They happen more often and they all end in tears. The doctors say he needs a special new drug that I can only get out of town. I'm the only one in the family who drives. Can I go get these drugs today? Yancy. You could just get a cab and... or... you know... buses exist? But sure. Let's start the day. Let's go. No need of music today. It's going to be serious business today. Gang member Kyan Yin Lin turned out to be a member of a gang known as the Red Masks. He could help you take down the gang if you make him an informant. Let's accept that. There are a number of gangs in Freeburg, and that means there's bounties to collect. Some of the criminals you come across will be members of one gang or another. In exchange for immunity, they may be willing to give up their bosses. Alright, let's start to investigate the second member of the Red Masks. In this way, you can get your hooks into gang members higher and higher up the food chain and ultimately take down the boss. If you do arrest the boss, the gang will be finished and you'll get to claim a reward. Alright. There's also a reward for formally charging gang members. Whenever you arrest a gang member, you get a bonus, but your deal with that person is over. Don't settle for small fish. You use the small fish to catch the big fish. So we can arrest him, or we can start to investigate, and we will put Armstrong and Mole on it. Eliminate the Red Mask gang. Bao Liang gave several interviews in which she spoke about atrocities committed by the Red Mask gang. She embellished a lot and distorted the facts. If you want to keep people from panicking, you need to take down the gang within the next 4 days. Working already on it, boss. Jack, you swore an oath to serve the city. If you can't keep your promises, we won't keep ours. I swore an oath to serve the city, not you. Request result. Request approved. Now you can improve your SWAT team. That's good. So we can increase efficiency by 50%, or we can send them out twice a day. We'll go with having them sent out twice a day because it can help in some certain situations, especially now that we're going after gang members.
410A in progress.
Attempted murder at the Sugar Dream Confectionery. A young employee at the factory got into a fight with the manager and is trying to push him into a vat of boiling chocolate. Kochi and Austin, go ahead. I wasn't Kochi and or was it B and Tsubaki? I don't know. Receiving stolen property. Right-hand man Ning. He is the faithful assistant Jin Yang, a founding member of the gang. He's entrusted with the most serious jobs. Alright. Ning, he keeps his more valuable prizes at home while he arranges their sale. He then brings them to the Wise Dragon restaurant on the day Before he's planning to make the deal, the gang must have had an immediate buyer for the necklace, so Ning he brought it to the restaurant the same night it was stolen. Usually the restaurant is open around the clock, but it was closed that night before because an important deal was going on. Ning has a key to the restaurant and valuables are kept in a safe under the bar. Alright. So we have those informations to go on when we get our future... our detectives will work and get the future sequences, and we just have to place it right. First call being attended by Kochi and Austin. Let's hope it all goes well. Attempted murder, offenders caught, officers unharmed. Great job. So it's going well. It's going well until now, but I am speaking too early. Carjacking in the suburb. Parking lot attendant Dillian Burns reports seeing a teenager walking between cars, trying handles in hopes of finding an unlocked vehicle. Before the attendant could approach him, the teenager found an unlocked door and shut himself inside. A few seconds later, the teen drove, shrieking from the parking lot. Greatly exceeding the speed limit, he fled towards the suburbs. Okay, officer... let's send Officer B and Officer Tsubaki. I don't know if they were the B team. I forgot who was the B team. I already ruined the team I made. Oh well. I think it was Kochi and Officer B. But they can be the new B team. I'll probably forget about that come next episode. Officers have determined the car thief's location, overtake the offender and block the road, catch up with the stolen vehicle and open fire, overtake the criminal and attempt to take him into custody. Overtake the offender and block the road. You don't want guns blazing situation all of a sudden. Good job, Officer B and Tsubaki. B wanted to leave today for some reason. We didn't give it to him. Hostage situation in the suburb. A weeping child called in saying that someone was holding him against his will. They won't let me go outside. They torture me and bully me. I don't think I can keep going. I want to go outside and see Pete. This is most likely a false alarm. Or I'm just setting up Asano for dying. One of those two. 50-50. Oh my god, if it turns out to be an actual call and we ignore the child's request for help, that would make us the worst police chief in history of police chiefs. Theft, Rubinovich Casino. We received a call from an angry casino patron. He claims that one of the casino girls that was hanging around his table lifted his wallet, which was carrying a couple of $1,000 in cash and several credit cards. Casino security shoved him outside, saying that he was drunk, but the man isn't giving up so easily. Alright, Kochi and Officer B, off you go. Hostage situation. Yeah, Joseph Hillary's mother would let him play until he ate his broccoli. False alarm. Jack, this is some sand. Jack, we're dealing with a moron who refuses to repay his debts, says that the police will protect him. I think it's time we show him whose side the police are on. Let's keep it low on this, Tsubaki, please. I'm counting on you to not rat on my do not rat on me. So I trust you. And don't rat on me, please. Because when we favor the mafia, I think the cops who are doing the job are possibly going to know about it, right? That would be logical. Okay. Offenders caught, officers unharmed. The theft call has been solved. So that brings us to the end of our day. Oh, there's another call in. Assault with a deadly weapons at the city center. At the parking lot exit, a security guard stopped a suspicious looking van and asked to check the driver's membership card. The female driver reached casually into the glove compartment, then pulled out a gun and opened fire. Alright. We have Vela, we have Officer Purdy, we have Officer Austin and Officer Asano. All four of them. Last call of the day. We don't want things going wrong. We don't want officers dying. And we want the offender caught. So we're sending out 4 officers. Overkill, probably. But we have nothing to lose. I think we have nothing to lose. Oh no, the day isn't
Got a
over yet,
situation
I think.
here.
Or is it? I don't know. A police cruiser has caught up with the perpetrator's van, used the bullhorn to order the van to stop, shoot out the criminal's tires, try to run the van off road. I think officers will get hurt if they try to run the van out of road with their cruiser, so we'll shoot the tire. The van takes a sharp turn and crashes through the window of a of a sex shop. A woman exits the vehicle, grabs the shop attendant and puts a gun to his head. Throw a rubber sex doll at the assailant, shoot the criminal in the head, or let go of that man right now. I feel we are going to kill a citizen if we do that.
412.
Okay. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed, and all our officers gain some professionalism. That's good. So on you come. I think that was a wrong judgment by me. That probably wasn't the last call of the day. So sending out 4 officers was wrong. Receiving stolen property. Okay. So we have he keeps most of his valuables at home, but he brings them to the Wise Dragon restaurant on the day before he's planning to make the deal. But he brought it immediately the same night it was stolen. Okay. Usually the restaurant is open around the clock, but it was closed the night before because an important deal was going on. He has a key to the restaurant. Valuables are kept in a safe under the bar. So he reaches the restaurant, he opens it up, he walks through, he just places it there, and that's it. We've solved the case. Ning He, Chinese immigrant, hasn't officially worked anywhere for the past 10 years. All right, let's go and arrest him. Probably send SWAT for this as well. Send Vela, send Kochi, our best people on it, our best officers. Proceed. Once we catch him, we can aim to pin down the head of the gang and take down the gang. The City Hall wanted us to take down the gang within 4 days as well. I think I can't click on it anymore because the day is ended. Let's see what's going on. Okay, the offender is caught. That's good, and you were able to arrest all suspects. Good job, detectives. We can't start to investigate this yet. We can arrest Ning He. Should we arrest? We can arrest to I'm not sure. Should we turn him into an informant without arresting him? Or will he give us information? I can't click on start to investigate, but that may be because the day is over. I'm not sure. We'll get back to this next day, I think. Let's end the day. A good shift overall. And before, okay, let's start day 7. But we'll continue day 7 in the next video. Thanks for joining in. Hope you enjoyed. Leave me a comment on how I can improve on things, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.